I see. The whole thing about this project is about the cut, right? So I'm the cut. Well, don't worry, it'll be super chill and relaxed because I'm just gonna ask you questions.
Okay.
And might not even tell you when I start recording. What do you think of purpose as an idea? What do you think of purpose as an idea, and what do you think we as humans do to have or create purpose? What do you think of purpose as an idea?
The way that the government and society is kind of melded together at this point really takes away from the purpose that each individual has.
What is your opinion of the concept of purpose?
My concept of purpose. The way I feel, there is no purpose. Like, there literally is no purpose to anything.
Alright, so we're talking about, like, each person has a purpose. I mean, I guess that makes sense, because if you had no purpose, then what would you be doing here?
We set goals for ourselves. We go so far as to, like, go to college for things that we want to do to kind of reach this greater purpose idea we have.
I think that it's important that people have an idea of purposes and something that they pursue. The language of what you think your purpose is, though, can vary heavily, so it isn't something that really, I don't know, outside of its dictionary definition, has a really, like, important thing that I think people should have to adhere to. That you assign certain amounts of your own purpose, especially at what points in your life you can give certain things, but within that as well, I think that there is some larger purpose that humanity could pursue that we might just not be able to understand right now.
What do you think about purpose as a concept? Take your time. What do you think needs to be included in media for it to have purpose? And I mean media as in films, photography, paintings, sculpting, anything thereof. What gives it meaning?
Something that's beautiful.
What do you describe as beautiful?
There are a lot of things that I described. I mean, connection, nature is always beautiful when it's, you know, happy and green.
Cinema.
Have you ever seen former History Channel? Like,
talk to me about
Modern Marvels. Did you ever see Modern Marvels? Like, when they were original History Channel. That was the shit versus what they are now. The fact that they were personable and, you know, like, they could relate to people's careers. I mean,
Because it's a conveyance of an ideology. You know, there's a message. It's just a mode of communication. The purpose of media is to communicate something. The question is, what are you trying to communicate? Kind of like what we're doing right here. Like, what are you trying to communicate to all the little humans? Hello, little humans. You know, you get these artists who, people will ask the critics what they think the meaning is, and it's completely different from what the artist was trying to convey. And that just goes to show you that we interpret it individually. Purpose is one thing. The meaning, or how the purpose is interpreted, is a different thing.
I mean, art, like, at the base level, you can say it's meant to entertain, but art also inspires people, and it's a great way to show the history of a time without just writing down in a book, like, this is what happened here. I'd say it's definitely important to society because it shows what's going on at the time, and also inspires younger generations.
I think media is a way that people advertise their own opinions on things, but in formats that are namely more palatable than just starkly confronting a difficult issue. There is a lot of media that is positive as far as trying to bring light into people's lives, but I think a lot of times media is something that makes it so that people can feel a sense of detachment from an issue, but also then face it head on in a way that might make them feel something more than if they had to actually experience it themselves.
Tell me your thoughts on the philosophical concept of purpose in life. Come on, say something. Yeah? That's what you think about it? Tell me more. Anything else? Oh yeah? Do you think this is a meaningful conversation for us to have in front of the camera?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Okay. The reason why is because evolution. Wait, evolution. That's an obvious answer. Duh. What is meaning of life, for example?
I mean, it's how much it means to you. If it really means a lot to you, then put it out there.
That's really up to your interpretation of this video. Like, you know, I can name a few purposes this video serves for you. The people I'm talking to right now are probably getting graded on this. So it serves a purpose. It gets you a good grade, gets your professor to, you know, acknowledge that you did the work. You know, at the end of the day, does it really serve a purpose to me or, you know, not really? The interpretation will vary based on all the little audience members, but the purpose at the end of the day was for you to get the experience of doing this kind of thing and get a grade for it.
I mean, if everyone came and discussed it together, then it might make some change in some people's mind, because the only way ideas travel is through discussion, and a lot of times people are afraid to just bring up deeper discussion topics. I don't know, I mean, it all depends on how people take it. I mean, people could choose to watch this video and be like, oh, this is just some dude drinking a beer, just like rambling about art, like, fuck that. Or they could actually think about the ideas that I've put out and take something from it. So, I'd say watching videos like this one or other ones and discussing topics like this always has the potential to change someone's mind about anything, which could shape society. But on the other hand, a billion other people could watch it and just say, well, that was interesting, but it doesn't change anything.
I think it's important to continually have discussions about, if nothing else, the different perspectives that people have on the world in that very general sense. And beyond that, I think it's even important in the more direct sense of being critical of media and the way people partake of information. It's always very important that even amidst things that claim to be scientific, or even amidst things that might seem like they're accurate at the time, like continually checking your sources and continually being able to examine things even from perspectives that, especially when it comes to theoretical things, it's having an almost creative sense about it and being able to feel like you don't have to always talk. Definitely that social constraint that media, again, gives you that slight removal from, and it's important as both an aspect for people to be able to view these kinds of things, even if they're poorly done and, you know, who they choose to interview. Having that social comfortability about talking about these kinds of subjects is something that should always be encouraged, because that's how we move forward and actually gain a larger perspective. That's that communicability that, from everything from technology to just the way human evolution has gone, that's 90% of the way that we work together and actually make a better